The moment you stop chasing her, something shifts in the universe. The constant texts stop, the desperate calls end, the pathetic social media monitoring ceases, and suddenly, for the first time since the breakup, she feels something she didn't expect: your absence. Today I'm revealing exactly what happens in her mind when you go silent, why no contact is your only path to dignity, and the 2 golden rules that will either save you or destroy you completely. But first, let me tell you what you're probably doing wrong right now. You're checking her Instagram story. You're analysing her posts for hidden meanings. You're torturing yourself with her online status, wondering who she's talking to at 2 a.m. Every check is a needle in your vein, giving you a microsecond of relief followed by hours of agony. You're a junkie, and she's your drug, and until you understand this, you'll never be free. Here are the 2 golden rules that determine everything. First, never monitor your ex. Second, never hold on to hope. Break either rule and you're finished. Not just finished with her, finished as a man with self-respect. These aren't suggestions or gentle guidance. These are laws as absolute as gravity. Violate them and you fall. Every single time. Let's start with why you're really monitoring her. It's not because you care what she's doing. It's because monitoring gives you the illusion of control. If you know where she is, who she's with, what she's feeling, somehow you're still connected. Somehow you still matter. But here's the brutal truth. You're not connected. You're a ghost haunting someone who's already moved on. You're a stalker with a permission slip from your broken heart. Every time you check her profile, you're scratching an infected wound. It feels good for a second, then makes everything worse. You see her smiling in a photo and create a novel about how happy she is without you. You see her looking sad and fantasize about swooping in to save her. Both are delusions. You have no idea what she's actually feeling because you're not in her life anymore. You're interpreting shadows on a wall and calling it reality. I counselled a man who checked his ex's Instagram 47 times a day. 47. He knew every person who liked her photos, analysed every caption, studied every location tag. You know what all that surveillance got him? Nothing but deeper psychosis. He was living in a virtual relationship with someone who'd forgotten he existed. When he finally blocked her and went cold turkey, he described it like coming out of a fever dream. Here's what monitoring actually does to your psychology. It keeps you in a state of perpetual activation. Your nervous system never gets to reset. You're always in fight or flight, always anticipating, always reactive. Your brain can't begin healing because you keep ripping off the bandage to peek at the wound. You're literally preventing your own recovery. Now let's talk about hope, the most dangerous emotion after a breakup. Hope is what keeps you paralyzed. Hope is what makes you wait. Hope is what turns you into a pathetic creature sitting by the phone, living for the possibility of her return. Hope is not your friend. Hope is your prison warden, keeping you locked in a cell made of maybe and what if. The men who get their exes back are the ones who kill hope completely, not diminish it, not manage it, murder it. They accept with absolute certainty that she's gone forever. They grieve like she died. They rebuild like she never existed. And paradoxically, this complete release is what sometimes creates the space for her return. But by then, they don't need it anymore. Here's a truth that will hurt. You're not hoping she comes back because you love her. You're hoping she comes back because your ego can't accept rejection. You can't tolerate being the one not chosen. Your hope isn't romantic, it's narcissistic. You need her to want you again just to prove you're worthy of wanting. This isn't love, it's addiction to validation. Let me tell you what she actually feels when you stop chasing. First, relief. The pressure is off. She doesn't have to manage your emotions anymore. She doesn't have to feel guilty about your pain. She doesn't have to dodge your attempts at connection. For the first few days, maybe weeks, your silence is her freedom. But then something interesting happens. The silence becomes loud. Where there used to be your constant presence, texts, calls, likes, views, there's now nothing, and nothing has weight. She starts to notice the absence, not missing you yet, just noticing the space where you used to be. Like background music that suddenly stops. You don't realise you were hearing it until it's gone. Then comes the curiosity. Why did you stop? Did you meet someone? Are you okay? Is this a tactic, or have you really moved on? She might check your profile. Yes, she's checking too, but differently. You checked from desperation. She checks from curiosity. You checked for hope. She checks for confirmation that you're still destroyed. When she sees you're not, that's when things shift. The third phase is ego bruising. Wait, you're really done? You're not going to chase me anymore? Was I that easy to get over? Her narrative was that you'd always be there, always wanting her, always available as a backup plan or ego boost. Your absence challenges that narrative. It suggests maybe she wasn't as special as she thought. Maybe you weren't as weak as she believed. But here's the crucial point. None of this matters if you're doing it as a tactic. Going silent to get her back is just another form of chasing. It's manipulation, not moving on. She'll sense the performance. Women have evolved for millions of years to detect fake disinterest from real disinterest. If you're going silent while still checking her profile, still hoping, still waiting, you're not silent. You're screaming in a frequency only she can hear. Real silence comes from decision, not strategy. You decide she's gone. You decide you deserve better than someone who doesn't choose you. You decide your dignity is worth more than her, maybe. This decision changes your energy completely. You stop vibrating at the frequency of need. You start vibrating at the frequency of completeness. Let me tell you about emotional addiction, because that's what you're really dealing with. Your brain became addicted to her presence, her texts, her voice, her smell, her energy. When she left, you went into withdrawal. Real, chemical, neurological withdrawal. And just like a drug addict, you'll do anything for one more hit. One more conversation, one more chance, one more anything. But here's what addicts learn in recovery. The only way out is through. You can't taper off. You can't have just a little bit. You can't maintain controlled contact. You have to go cold turkey and endure the withdrawal. It's going to hurt like hell. You're going to feel like you're dying. Your brain will create 1,000 reasons why you need to reach out. All lies, all addiction talking. The monitoring addiction is particularly insidious because it feels harmless. You're not contacting her, right? Just looking, just checking. But every check releases a small hit of dopamine followed by a crash of cortisol. You're microdosing your own misery. You're keeping yourself sick just enough to never get better. Now let's talk about the deeper betrayal. Wanting someone who doesn't want you. This is the real wound to your masculine pride. Every moment you spend pining for someone who rejected you is a moment you betray yourself. You're saying your standards are negotiable. You're saying your worth is determined by someone else's choice. You're saying you'll accept crumbs when you deserve the feast. A man with real self-respect has one response to rejection. Okay. Not anger, not bargaining, not pursuit. Just acknowledgement and pivot. She doesn't want you, her loss, someone else will. But you can't pivot when you're anchored to hope. You can't move forward when you're looking backward. You can't find better when you're settling for nothing. Here's what she feels when you truly move on. Irrelevance. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. When you reach genuine indifference, when seeing her name doesn't move your needle, when her life becomes as interesting to you as a stranger's, that's when you've won. Not won her back, won yourself back. But let's be honest about the timeline. This isn't a 30-day transformation. Depending on how deep you are in, real recovery takes months, maybe a year. Anyone selling you quick fixes is lying. The neural pathways you built with her took time to develop. They'll take time to atrophy. New pathways take time to build. This is biology, not motivation. The paradox that drives men crazy. She often comes back when you no longer want her. When you've genuinely moved on, rebuilt yourself, found new purpose, suddenly she appears. Hey, how are you? The text that would have sent you into ecstasy 3 months ago now just annoys you. Why? Because indifference is attractive. Need is repulsive. When you needed her, she ran. When you don't, she wonders why. But here's the trap. If she does come back and you haven't done the real work, you'll fall right back into the same patterns. The relationship will fail again for the same reasons. You'll go through the same pain, maybe worse. I've seen men bury the same relationship 5-10 times, each resurrection lasting shorter than the last, each death hurting more than before. You want to know what really happens in her mind during your silence. At first, nothing. She's busy with her new life, new possibilities, new freedom. Your absence is barely registered. Then, as weeks pass, questions arise, small ones. Did he really move on that fast? Was I that forgettable? The questions aren't about missing you. They're about ego validation. If you stay truly silent long enough, something shifts. The story she told herself about you, that you're weak, needy, always available, starts to crack. Maybe you weren't who she thought. Maybe she misjudged. Maybe she lost something valuable. But here's the thing, these thoughts aren't love returning, they're just ego recalculating. Women often reach out not because they want you back, but because they want to confirm you still want them. That "hey" text isn't an invitation, it's a temperature check. Are you still on the hook? Is the backup plan still secure? When you respond immediately with enthusiasm, she gets her answer and disappears again. Mission accomplished, ego fed. The only response to a check-in text is delayed indifference. If you respond at all, it's days later, brief, friendly, but closed. "Hey, doing well? Hope you are too." No questions, no invitation for dialogue, no emotional availability. You're not being mean, you're being boundaried. You're not playing games, you're protecting your peace. Let's talk about the myth of closure. You think one more conversation will help you understand. One more meeting will give you peace. One more explanation will make it make sense. Stop. Closure is not a gift someone gives you. Closure is a decision you make. The decision that it's over, regardless of understanding why. The decision to stop needing answers to move forward. Every time you seek closure, you're really seeking hope. You want her to say something that either opens the door or helps you accept it's closed. But she can't give you either. The door is closed because she closed it. You accept it's closed by walking away, not by understanding her reasons. Her reasons don't matter. The result does. Here's what monitoring and hope really cost you. Opportunity. While you're stalking her Instagram, someone amazing might be trying to get your attention. While you're analysing her tweets, life is happening without you. While you're hoping for resurrection, you're missing real, present, available connection. You're so focused on a ghost that you can't see the living. The deeper cost is to your identity. Every day you spend wanting someone who doesn't want you, you reinforce the belief that you're not enough, that you need external validation, that your worth is negotiable. This psychological damage lasts far longer than the relationship did. You're not just mourning her, you're eroding yourself. Let me be brutal about something. She's probably not thinking about you nearly as much as you think about her. While you're constructing elaborate fantasies about her missing you, she's living her life. While you're checking her status, she's on dates. While you're preserving her memory, she's creating new ones. The asymmetry of post-breakup obsession is staggering. This isn't because she never cared, it's because she processed the relationship's death while still in it. Women rarely leave abruptly. They leave gradually, then suddenly. By the time she actually left, she'd been emotionally gone for months. You're grieving a fresh death. She's visiting an old grave. The timeline difference is why you're destroyed while she seems fine. Now let's talk about what real moving on looks like. It's not pretending you're fine. It's not forcing yourself to date. It's not posting thirst traps hoping she'll see. Real moving on is quiet. It's deleted numbers and blocked profiles. It's thrown out mementos and reclaimed spaces. It's building new routines that don't include checking on her. Real moving on is becoming someone you weren't in the relationship. Not to spite her or attract her, but because growth is the only way through grief. New skills, new body, new interests, new circles. You're not trying to become someone she'd want back. You're becoming someone who wouldn't take her back. The ultimate test comes when you run into her randomly. Your body will betray you, heart racing, palms sweating, fight or flight activated. That's okay, that's biology. But what you do next determines everything. Do you approach hoping for reconciliation? Or do you wave politely and keep walking? Your feet tell the truth about your recovery. Here's a hard truth about her feelings during no contact. She might feel nothing. She might be relieved you're gone. She might never miss you, or reach out or wonder about you. This possibility has to be okay. Your healing cannot depend on her having any particular feeling. Your worth cannot require her regret. Some women do experience delayed grief. Months later, when the excitement of freedom fades, when the new guy disappoints, when lonely Sunday mornings remind her of what you had, then she might feel loss. But by then, if you've done the work, her grief is irrelevant to your life. You're not waiting for her to suffer. You're too busy living. The men who win this game are the ones who change the game entirely. They stop playing Get Her Back and start playing Get Myself Back. They stop asking what is she feeling and start asking what am I becoming. They stop needing her to validate their worth and start generating worth independently. Let me tell you what happens to men who truly implement the 2 golden rules. They go through hell first: withdrawal, depression, anxiety, physical pain. But then, gradually, something shifts. They start to feel solid again, centered, whole. They realize they existed before her and continue existing after her. They remember who they were before they became who she wanted. When a man reaches true indifference, not performed, not forced, but genuine disinterest in his ex's existence, he becomes magnetic. Not just to her potentially, but to everyone. Because a man who doesn't need external validation, who's complete in himself, who can walk away from what doesn't serve him, that man is rare, that man is attractive, that man is free. But here's the mindfuck. By the time you become that man, you usually don't want her back. The person who was attracted to her no longer exists. You've outgrown not just her, but the version of yourself that needed her. If she does return, she's returning to a stranger. The man she left is dead. The man she meets might not be interested. This is why no contact to get her back is the wrong frame entirely. No contact isn't a strategy, it's chemotherapy. You're not trying to attract her back, you're trying to kill the cancer of needing her. The fact that it sometimes results in her return is irrelevant, a side effect, not the goal. Let me address the voice in your head that's creating exceptions. But what if there's an emergency? There won't be. But what if she reaches out first? Don't respond. But what if I need to get my stuff? Send a friend. But what if we have kids? Minimal logistics-only contact through written communication. Your brain will create elaborate scenarios where contact is necessary. It's lying. It's the addiction talking, creating excuses for relapse. The physical symptoms of withdrawal are real and they're brutal. Insomnia, loss of appetite or overeating, chest pain, anxiety attacks, depression, even flu-like symptoms. Your body is detoxing from years of chemical dependence. She literally changed your brain chemistry and now you're rebalancing. This isn't weakness, it's biology. Treat it like recovery from any addiction. Here's something crucial about her psychology during your silence. Women are attracted to mystery and repelled by certainty. When you were chasing, she knew exactly where you stood. You were certain, predictable, acquired. Now silent, you're mysterious again. What are you doing? Who are you becoming? Why don't you need her? Mystery creates space for imagination, and imagination creates attraction. But don't mistake this for hope. Her renewed curiosity isn't love. It's ego investigating a disturbance in her narrative. You were supposed to chase forever. You were supposed to be destroyed. Your thriving challenges her story, and nobody likes their story challenged. Any interest that emerges from your absence is about her ego, not your value. The comparison trap will kill your progress. You'll see her with someone new and think he's better, that's why she chose him. Stop. She didn't choose him because he's better. She chose him because he's different. He represents the opposite of whatever she was running from with you. When she runs from him, she'll run towards something that represents the opposite of him. It's not about quality, it's about novelty. Every man reading this who's checking her social media, stop. Right now. Block everything. Delete everything. It's not dramatic, it's necessary. Every man holding on to hope, let it die. Today. Mourn like she's dead because the her you loved is. Every man waiting for closure, stop waiting. You'll die waiting for something that doesn't exist. The silence you create isn't punishment for her or performance for attraction. It's medicine for you. It's the space needed to hear your own thoughts again, to remember your own value, to rebuild your own life. In that silence, you'll discover something powerful. You don't need her to be complete. You never did. You just forgot that for a while. What she feels when you stop chasing and go silent ultimately doesn't matter. What matters is what you feel. The return of dignity, the recovery of self, the recognition that you deserve someone who chooses you enthusiastically, not someone you have to convince. Some of you will break the rules. You'll check her profile tonight. You'll hold on to hope. You'll wait for her return, and you'll suffer longer than necessary. But some of you will take this as the wake-up call it is. You'll choose yourself. You'll go truly silent. You'll kill hope. And in a few months, you'll thank yourself for the courage to let go. The final truth. She feels whatever she feels. Relief, curiosity, regret, nothing. It's all irrelevant if you're truly moving on. Your job isn't to influence her feelings. Your job is to master your own, to choose dignity over desperation, to choose growth over grief, to choose yourself over someone who didn't choose you. Gentlemen, the path forward is simple but not easy. No monitoring, no hope, no contact, no exceptions. The withdrawal will be brutal, the urges will be overwhelming. Your brain will create elaborate justifications for why you need just one more check, just one more text. All lies, all addiction, all weakness. On the other side of this suffering is a man you'll respect. A man who doesn't need external validation. A man who doesn't chase what runs from him. A man who knows his worth isn't negotiable. That man is waiting for you to stop betraying him with false hope and pathetic monitoring. Kill the hope. Cut the contact. End the monitoring. Not for her, not to get her back, not as a tactic. Do it because you deserve better than wanting someone who doesn't want you. Do it because your dignity is worth more than her maybe. Do it because the man you're supposed to become is waiting on the other side of this addiction. What she feels when you stop chasing and go silent is her business. What you become when you stop caring what she feels, that's your business. And that business is the only one worth investing in right now. I want to hear from you. How long have you been monitoring? How long have you been hoping? What's keeping you from implementing the 2 rules? Share your truth in the comments. Sometimes admitting where you are is the first step to changing where you're going. And remember, the silence starts now or the suffering continues forever. Your choice.